This is Landis Menard at Menard Center Farm in Fairfield, and we could talk about what this new bale chopper through a DBIC grant.
I got this Teagle Tomahawk bale shredder last fall to help with bedding my bedded pack and to chop late cut, first cut hay for the fields that the cows didn't necessarily like the best, and it really gave me a lot of ease through bedding this pack barn over the winter. I could stick a bale in it and bed 2 days and keep these animals a lot drier, a lot easier. Most of the winter I was driving, I didn't have gates in here, and I was driving all around and blowing the hay in, and now I have some small calves out here, so I made the pens more divided, and I can't drive in there, but I can blow it over the gates and then just easily toss it around with a pitchfork in my feet, and you can do it in about 15-20 minutes instead of 45 minutes to an hour with lugging the hay with wheelbarrows and either pulling it off full round bales by hand with a pitchfork. So ease of bedding this bedded pack has been a huge factor in getting the machine and my animals stayed probably 50% cleaner throughout the winter. We had an easy winter, but it definitely made taking care of them a lot easier.
So the old whole round bales you'd have to roll out by hand. They weren't as absorbent.
Yep.
You said it was a lot more bull work, just trying to fork or kick them.
Try to fork it and fluff it up by hand or with a pitchfork, and just whole stock hay didn't really absorb much. You can see I blew the bedding in on their backs, and it's all fine, really chopped up stuff. It almost turned some of it into dust. So the absorbiveness of it went up by probably 30 to 50% by grinding it and making it fluffy. So that really helped.
And you said your Uncle Norman cleaned it out back in April?
Yep.
And what were he had some comments on how he could handle it?
He couldn't get as big of a scoop out of it with his excavator because it's all fine material, so I'm hoping that it really makes a difference when I go to spread my solid manure, that it goes through my spreader and doesn't wind up on my beaters and leave piles in the fields. That I think it'll break down a lot faster than the stock hay that I was putting out here before. It's August cut hay, so it's well matured and long.
Meant for bedding hay.
Yeah, bedding hay, and before it was all tangled and intertwined, and now it's all just a fluff. So it's a lot easier to clean. I can clean it with my skid steer if I really need to, but usually my uncle comes and cleans it with an excavator. But it should break up a lot faster on my stacking pad and be a lot easier to deal with my tractors.
Great. Can you talk about the setup and your tractor power and such?
I have an 80 horsepower tractor on it right now, and it runs it fine. It's dry hay, so I'm sure if you put a wet material in it, you'd need a little more horsepower to run it, but it's a 50/50 model. We were originally going to go with a 40/40, and they told us to go with a bigger one because our tractor would handle it, and then you had options to put a 5-foot bale into it, and I'm glad we did, because it's a bigger tub, and a 4-foot bale, once you start rolling it around in there, it fills it right up. But my tractor handles it fine.
And that's what you're talking
fairly
about.
Maneuverable.
You got your chute that you ideally could have a little more adjustment on.
Yeah,
but
if you had a elephant, they call it an elephant chute, hydraulically driven, it would be a lot more easy to get into tight areas. I have to be 90 to anything that I'm spraying into, but it works fine for me. I made it work through the winter, and with nice, if you had nice open areas, it really shines. But I still can blow it over top of these gates and kick it around, and don't have to bring it out here with a wheelbarrow or pull it around with my hands. So it's done its job.
Menard Center Farm bale chopper. This is the upper and cabs are in a coverall structure. It's a bedding quality bale, getting shredded for popping off the pens, building up a deep bedded pack. Around 20 bales have been used over the winter for bedding this particular structure.